Hey, first graders. Hey, it's great to be back to share another art project with you. Well, let's go ahead and get started. This project is going to be about using a free form shape. A free form shape. You know, here's a good example. Let's say I accidentally spilled some paint on the paper. Whoops. Well, let's take a look at these shapes. These are really good examples of freeform shapes. They're not perfect like a geometric shape like a square or a rectangle or a circle. See the difference between these? Let's take a look at some other ones. On other projects, you used geometric shapes like this rectangle. Let's compare it to a freeform shape. Look at that. Or this freeform shape. Like a blob or a puddle in the ground. Say you spilled some milk on the countertop. That would make a freeform shape. And you're also going to overlap on this project. Overlap. These two shapes, they're overlapping right now, aren't they? Now these freeform shapes are not overlapping. And now they're overlapping again. All right, keep that in mind, because you're going to be doing some overlapping on this project. It's going to make it look really cool. There we go. All right, go ahead and get your sheet of paper ready. If you don't have one there and a pencil, go ahead and get one right now and get yourself a pencil, because we are going to get started. All right, let's go ahead and make our first freeform shape right in the middle of the paper, nice and big. But don't touch the edges. Don't touch the edges of the paper, but make it nice and big. For instance, just gonna make a wiggly line that goes all the way around like this and connects where I started. That's a good example of a freeform shape. Got it? Okay, now let's move on to the next part. We're going to work in each of the four corners and add another freeform shape that overlaps this freeform shape. Like this. I'm going to start in this corner. I'm going to wiggle the line around. I'm not going to wiggle it too much. I'm going to come back out of that shape over to this side. Right up in this corner. See how it's overlapping right there? All right. I'm going to do this corner now. A little wiggly line right there. A little curvy line into that corner. There's the overlap part. And again. You just make up how you want your wiggly lines to go. You can curve them any way you want. Just make sure that they go into the shape in the middle that you made first. There we go. I have a freeform shape in the middle, and one in this corner, one in this corner, one in this corner, and one in this corner. And all four of them are overlapping the middle freeform shape. Okay? Next, get yourself a black marker. If you don't have a black marker, you can use a black crayon. That'll work too. Let me get this one out. So I could trace them all with this, or maybe you don't want to trace it with a black crayon. You can just start coloring in the shapes too, but first let's do this. If you have a marker, start tracing that middle shape first. Like this, and end where you started. Then Try to stay on the line the best you can. Well, I went off the line a little bit there, but that's okay. Nobody's perfect. Just do the best you can. And this right here. Okay. Some people like to erase any pencil lines that they missed when they were tracing. You don't have to, though. I like to. Always put the cap back on your marker. You don't want it to dry out. Now it's time to start coloring. And we're only going to use the 3 primary colors. Red, yellow, and blue. We're only using those. And by overlapping these colors, we're going to make new colors. So let's go ahead and color the middle freeform shape first. So you're going to color it all red. Some people like to go around the edge of it first so they don't accidentally go into the other shapes. That's a smart thing to do. Just follow the shape around like this. This part's already done. And stop at the black line. Don't go past the black line. Then you can color the whole inside part. Even on top of these lines here, where it overlaps. You want to color all the overlap parts. And in here. This is one of the reasons you really don't want to trace with a black crayon first, because if you were to color on there, it would smear everywhere. So only do this if you have a marker on there first. All right. Then we're going to move on to the yellow. And we'll do these 2 corners yellow. Just go right on top of that. Color nice and hard on top of that red, and it'll turn what color? Orange, that's right. All the way into here. All the way into here. All the way to the corner. Do little small strokes in the corner like this. Then you can hold it down with your fingers. It won't bunch up on you. You don't want that paper bunching up in the corner. Makes it look messy. And the next one. Get that orange to show up by mixing the red and the yellow together. And then color the rest. My finger or my thumb there. And color the rest of it. Alright. You'll build up your muscles too, doing all this coloring. Then we are going to move on to the blue. And this corner is going to be blue, and this corner is going to be blue. We're going to color it all in nice and good. There we go. Don't go past those black lines, only where the overlap part is. And here. And here. Over here. I've got to keep an eye on the time. I don't want to run out of time for this video. You don't have to color this fast. You can color a lot slower. But I do have to make sure I get this done before 15 minutes is up. Otherwise the video will cut off. And up here. And undo this part. And that's an easy on the corner there. And here. Okay. There we go. And when the blue overlaps the red, what color does that make? If you said purple, you're correct. It's not a perfect purple, but it looks very purplish. Okay, I can even put a little more red on there. That purple show up a little better. All right, now here comes the last part. You ready? These 4 empty sections we're going to color yellow. I know we've already used yellow, but we're going to do them yellow again. We had to wait. All right. Yellow. Yellow. Try to stay inside the black lines. Yellow. And yellow. And the last part of the project, in those 4 middle sections on the sides, we're going to color blue on top. I'm not going to color too hard, kind of lightly. And it'll turn a greenish color. So, don't want to get that side messed up. I'll color these corners, we'll leave those yellow. And here's the last part. There we go. And there's the greenish, kind of greenish color. You can go with the yellow on top of it again if you want to a little bit. And I think it's greenish enough looking. So by mixing red and yellow, we made orange. By mixing blue and red, we made purple. And by mixing blue and yellow, we made green. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that cool? Okay. Now, if you don't have a black marker and you don't want to use a black crayon, you can do this project just inside the pencil lines also. Just like this one. Only without the black lines. If your markers run out and you don't have one to use, then you can do this. You just have it overlap. Blue and red makes purple, and red and yellow makes orange, and blue and yellow mixed together makes green. All right, it'll work either way. And some people, well, after they're done with this part, if you didn't use marker and you just overlap with crayon, you can use a black crayon at the end, and you can trace the parts. If you want to, you don't have to. Some people like the way it looks. But you have to use the black last. If you use it first, it'll smear. You have to be careful. But this black will cover up all the other colors. And it'll make it pop. There's the shape. And this one. You want to trace a lot slower than this. You want to stay on the correct lines. Okay, there we go. There's one all done with crayon. The black was done last. But with marker, you can do the black first. Because you don't want to do marker on top of crayon. It doesn't work very well, does it? Some people may have tried that before. Okay? Alright, first graders. Have fun overlapping freeform shapes and mixing primary colors together, red, yellow, and blue, to make green, orange, and purple. All right, have fun with it. Can't wait to see your finished pieces of art. Send them a picture of them to my email or upload the picture to Google Classroom. All right, thanks for your time. Until next time, bye.